Welcome to the first 360-degree wastewater treatment plant from the wastewater treatment plant in Bönen, which is close to Dortmund. This wastewater treatment plant has about 70,000 people connected and industry from the region. Here you find the screw pumps which lift the wastewater up to the amount level so that the wastewater can flow in gravity through the whole wastewater treatment plant. This film is to find out how we can use the new 360-degree camera technique in education and wastewater. This is the first screen, and with a big size in diameter, so that the big material which is in the wastewater can be taken out. This is an automatic screen, so when the water level has a certain difference, then the screen starts automatically and will remove the big particles to an elevator belt, and then it goes into a container. The container then will be driven to the solid waste landfill place. We continue here with the sand filter. This is a covered sand filter where the wastewater, especially the gravel and small sand, will settle down into the bottom of the sand filter, and then the water and sand will be taken out. This is covered most probably because of the smell in the intake of a wastewater treatment plant. You see the screen house where we just had seen the screen. And we normally also, the sand filter is a grease trap, so that the most flowing grease will be trapped as well in this facility. The next step is then that the sand will be taken into a sand clarifier, and you see here it's a kind of washing machine where you clean the sand, and the sand will be taken into one extra container. This is a special case. This is a fine screen where the smaller particles will be taken out from the wastewater. So here we will see the stuff in education, and this is the sampler to take samples from the wastewater. Here we are on the primary treatment. Normally is a round basin, sometimes it's rectangle basins. So the first step of a wastewater treatment plant, the mechanical separation, will take place here, and from this one we go then later on into the activated sludge process, the biological process, what you can see in here, the aeration tanks. These are fine bubbles coming from the ground, and this fine bubble brings oxygen into the wastewater. There are areas with oxygen and without oxygen. That's what we call nitrification and denitrification. So this is a treatment plant with further wastewater treatment, as you can see it. Here also the stuff is going to take some samples for important work, because you have to check the microorganism in the wastewater. The stuff is a 3 years education in Germany where young people learn this profession. The next step is a secondary treatment plant clarifier, and it's the last stage of the wastewater treatment plant where the rest of the waste can be settled down and the sludge is taken to the sludge area, and from here it goes to the river. Here we are now in the laboratory where you can exercise certain chemical and biological parameters which is needed on a wastewater treatment plant. This is also an important part of education and training in wastewater treatment plants. The next step is a central control area. All the data, all the measurements goes into a central storeroom where you can oversee all the processes and where all the documentation takes place. Next step is a sewage sludge treatment. This is a pre-thickener where the sludge goes in and is separated. You see the blue tank over there. It's a separate digester where the wastewater will stay about 30 days in about 35 degrees centigrade atmosphere without oxygen, so methane will be produced, and this methane will be used later on for the energy production in the wastewater treatment plant. Here on the left hand side you see the small gas tank. The blue one is a digester, and the gas tank where you store the gas from the digester. Of course, from this digester the sludge comes into this pumping area and then will be treated in the centrifuge. This centrifuge is a fast running engine where you separate the water from the solid particles, and you also sometimes do some polymers to improve the situation. Here on the top you see the centrifuge machine, which is running in a high speed. Here is a power station. The gas from the digester will be used in the engine and to produce energy for the wastewater treatment plant. The rest of the sludge is stored here and then taken to different landfills for covering landfills or to work in other areas. Here is the drainage, the intake of the treated wastewater. This is an agricultural area. The river is very small, and of course the regulator often takes samples to check if the wastewater treatment plant is working properly. Of course, maintenance and repair is a daily work. Here's a workshop on the wastewater treatment plant where you can see the different workshops, what is needed. I hope this tour trip, you like this trip, and we say goodbye to you, and let us know if you enjoyed it. Thanks a lot.